And when you had the house and land, the house and land, the house and land, and when you had the house and land, then you told me go. I found a place to build my house, build my house, build my house. I found a place, build my house, since I couldn't go back home. You said I couldn't build a house, build a house, build a house. You said I couldn't build a house, so you burnt it down. So then I traveled far and wide, far and wide, far and wide, and then I traveled far and wide until I found a home. I learned your words and wrote a song, wrote a song, wrote a song. I learned your words and wrote a song to put my story down. But then you came and took my song, took my song, took my song. But then you came and took my song, claimed it for your own. I took my bucket, lowered it down, lowered it down, lowered it down. I took my bucket, lowered it down, the well will never dry. You brought me here to build a house, build a house, build a house. You brought me here to build a house. I will not be moved. No, I will not be moved. No, I will not be, I will not be, I will not be moved.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to your neighborhood Unitarian Universalist congregation. My name is Susanne Maziarz. I'm here in the Music LL office at 310 Danforth, sitting beside my upright piano with the bright rainbow flag behind me. I have your announcements for the coming week. This week's gathering music that you just heard was Build a House, written by Rhianna Giddens and featuring Yo-Yo Ma. It was released June 19th, 2020, recorded in isolation. This is what Rhiannon says about the song. This song came knocking about a week ago and I had to open the door and let it in. What can I say about what's been happening, what has happened, and what is continuing to happen in this country and in the world? There's too many words and none all at once. So I let the music speak as usual. What a thing to mark this 155th anniversary of Juneteenth with that beautiful soul Yo-Yo Ma. Honored to have it out in the world. Juneteenth commemorates the day in 1865, 2 years after Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation and 2 months after the surrender of General Lee to end the Civil War, when Union soldiers reached Galveston, Texas, and informed enslaved people in that area that they were free and the war was over. Ongoing at Neighborhood. Monday nights, come sing with the Spirit Choir from 7 to 8:30 p.m. We are off tomorrow for Family Day, but we begin in-person and hybrid rehearsals a week from Monday on the 28th. So contact me if you're interested in singing with the choir, music@nuuc.ca. Tuesday mornings, our minister, Reverend Wayne, offers coffee time over Zoom. All are welcome to come and stop for a chat. That's from 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. in our regular Zoom space. We continue to support Club Sandwich. If you can make some sandwiches individually wrapped and drop them off at MCC on Wednesdays before 8 or Thursdays before noon, they collect the sandwiches and take them to local charities to help feed hungry folks in the neighborhood. Wednesday night meditation continues every Wednesday, currently on Zoom from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. with Rev Wayne. Volunteers are needed to join our AV team. Training will be provided on how to operate the soundboard and our camera. The AV team will be able to assist at neighborhood events outside of our Sunday services, such as choir and band practices, weekend events, etc. Please contact Gordon Thorne if you're interested. gordon.thorne2@gmail.com. Celebrate Tuesday this Tuesday. If you feel like having some fun with your giving to neighborhood, why not send an e-transfer to Hala at office@nuuc.ca this Tuesday, 2/22/22, for $222.22. Give a little. Help neighborhood a lot. The 8th Principal Working Group is having their third meeting tomorrow evening from 7 to 8:15 p.m. That's facilitated by member Bruce Line. We'll be meeting in the service Zoom link, the link you're currently in. We are collectively planning next steps to activate the 8th Principal at neighborhood. And even if you haven't attended a meeting before, you're welcome to join us. Stay tuned after service. Today from 12:30 to 2 p.m. we will be having an investment update meeting. All are welcome to attend. Come in and rejoice. On 3 weeks away, on March 13th, we will have our first hybrid service of 2022. And then 2 weeks later, March 27th, we plan to continue offering weekly multi-platform services. Let us welcome each other into our space once again. We need you and we need each other. This week's question to the community. Can you remember wanting something? What happened after you got it? Ponder this. Our minister hopes you'll be willing to share when the time comes in the service. And next Sunday, our theme is You Might Get What You Need. Service weaver Doug Crozier, our speakers, our minister Rev Wayne Walder, and music will be provided by Susanne, myself, and friends.
Good morning, and welcome to our service here at Neighborhood Unitarian Universalist Congregation. My name is Kurt Thomsen, and I will be your virtual service leader this morning. This service is being recorded for our website and on YouTube. Joys and concerns will be edited out of the recording. If you have privacy concerns, you are welcome to turn off your camera and rename yourself. This is our threshold moment. We have nowhere else to go and nothing else to do. Please join us in spirit, heart, and soul as we come together as community to strengthen ourselves and our future. Now, as Wayne lights our chalice in our sanctuary, you're welcome to light a chalice in your own home or form your hands in the shape of a chalice like this. Now, please join Susanne as we sing our chalice invocation.
We light this chalice to remember, to light the fire within our own hearts.
Now for our prelude. Allison, would you care to introduce it, please?
Thank you, Kurt. Yes, I'm very honored that we can share Wind of Change, song written by our Reverend Lynn Harrison, who gave Susanne and I permission to record and share her song of resilience. It summons the sense of facing an oncoming storm fully with strength, hope, and faith. And I hope you feel that way too.
See it turning by the lake shore, pretty pinwheel in the sky, churning up all that we hope for, light and power we can't deny, wind of change, rise up, wind of change. See them dancing on the clothesline, pretty pinstripes bright and blue, as the wind chimes sings a love song, and my heart says back to you, wind of change, rise up, wind of change, wind of change, rise up, wind of change. We are watching for tornadoes as we scan uncertain skies, but a deeper part of me knows that a healing wind will rise. There is somewhere we are headed now. There is much to rearrange. Wind of change, rise up, wind of change. Wind of change, rise up, wind of change. As it lifts our fallen spirits, as it cools our tender skin, it is near and far beyond us. It's outside and deep within. Wind of change, rise up, wind of change. Wind of change, rise up, wind of change. We are watching for tornadoes as we scan uncertain skies, but a deeper
We are the wind of change. Before we move further in, we must acknowledge the peoples who stood on this land before we settlers first set foot. The Wendat, the Anishinaabeg Nation, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, the Mississaugas, joined by the Métis and the Inuit peoples who have been here in time out of memory, who have many lessons that we must learn so we can grow and learn to correct the mistakes from our past so we can all forge a joint path up into the future. Our minister is the Reverend Wayne Walder. Our music director is Susanne Maziarz. Zee Getchell facilitates our child and caregiver programming. Mike Kosowski does our web hosting duties. By now, we all pretty much know all the Zoom quirks and quarks and etiquette. However, if you are having some difficulties with Zoom or you forget something, please send a private message to either Peter Marmerick or Zee Getchell, and they will be most happy to assist you. If you are new to our congregation or just coming here maybe for the second, third, or just early time, a very special welcome. Feel free to join a breakout room when it is offered at the end of our service, or decline that offer and remain in the main space where our Reverend Wayne Walder will be most happy to explain to you who we are and what we are about. Our mission here at Neighborhood is to empower spiritual growth and shared action for the care of our world. The theme for February is open house. And today, our minister will be discussing, you can't always get what you want. Thinking about this, I have found a blog post called The Spiritual Method for Making Decisions That Make You Feel Good by Gabby Bernstein. The voice of the ego has a goal it's unwilling to get rid of. It has a plan for getting you exactly what you want in the way that you want to get it. The voice of the ego is fear, limitation, and is impatient. Contrastly, the voice of the heart is the voice of our intuition and is loving. It says, let's be patient. And let's let an intuitive response come forward to meet us. The voice of our intuition may not always make logical sense, but it feels good. Now, please, let us greet our neighbors. Please turn your settings to gallery view and unmute yourselves and say hello to all your virtual neighbors around you. A chime will sound about 30 seconds to bring us back.
Morning, Tony.
Good morning, everybody.
Marianne.
Hi, everyone.
Gordon.
Good morning.
Morgan.
Morgan.
Hi, Lorraine.
Hi, Tony. Good morning. Hi, Lorraine.
Nice to see you. Terry.
Michael.
Nice to see you.
Kelly.
How are you doing?
Good morning, everyone from Niagara Falls.
Good
morning.
How you doing, Pat?
Hi,
Hey, Michael. Good to see you.
Michael, good to see you there, and Lauren.
You for a while.
Hi, Lynn.
Hi, Billy. Brenda.
Holly.
Morning.
Marianne.
Hi, Dee Dee.
Hi, Diane. Hi, Mel.
Ellie.
Hi, good morning. Good morning.
Now, please, if you do so wish, read with me our opening words, which will be projected on our screen. If you're on a phone and are unfamiliar with these words, just listen and take them in. Let us cast a circle of a sacred space here. Let us cast a circle of a cherished space here, a space of safety, a place of forgiveness, a place of love. If we want the world to change, we must craft in our space and in ourselves the seeds that grow a different kind of life, a life of graciousness, of creative intelligence, a place of life and spirit for ourselves and our families.
Hello, everyone. This is a time when you can help us with wisdom that you've accumulated over time. And hopefully, some people who haven't spoken would be able to speak now. The question about when you get what you want, what happens? And if you can do it from a point of view of the reflection in a human life, your human life, about, when I got it, it was perfect, or when I got it, I realized there was way more that I wasn't seeing at all about wanting to get it. So we only have time for maybe 2 or 3 people to do this. And like I said, if you haven't done it before, give it a try, and we can listen to what happened when you got what you want, and then what happened after you got it.
I see Steve's hand. I'm going to bring him up.
Great, thank you.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Hello. When I was in my early teens, I had visited a friend who had an electric car racing set, where the car goes along the grooves, and we put plastic dinosaurs on it and tried to run them over. It was so much fun. I came back and said to my dad, "Oh, I need a car racing set." And my dad, being the excellent guy he was, went to Consumers Distributing, and we got, I think maybe it was about $20 at the time, car racing set. And I remember really enjoying it for a day or two, but I think it would have been, I guess it was a denouement. I was very happy about that, so it wasn't a disappointment. But the pleasure didn't really last that long. Over in a couple of days.
Thank you very much, Steve. Kurt, did you put your hand up? You're muted.
Here we go. Before I first moved to Toronto, I was considering moving to London to go to Fanshawe, which was the best radio school in Canada, but I only got accepted in a general arts program. But I did get accepted into the radio, television, broadcasting course at Seneca here in Toronto. And I found that it wasn't exactly what I originally wanted, but yet without it, I wouldn't have had everything, all the good things that I've gained right now. Thank you.
Thanks, Kurt. We have time for 2 more, and I think I see Allison's hand and Anne's hand. Allison?
Thank you. Yes, we didn't have a very complicated or rich tradition around Christmas when I was a child, but I somehow got it in my head when I was very little one time that I could ask for something, and I had seen ads on television for a Chrissy Grow hair doll, and it really wasn't something I would normally do. I asked for it, and unfortunately I got it, and it really wasn't all that it was cracked up to be. And I realized that it hadn't been my want, and I was more careful with television and what they purported after that.
Thank you, Allison. I wonder, Susanne, if you could introduce our next song.
With pleasure. Thanks, Wayne. Our first congregational song today is Eyes on the Prize, Hold On. This became an influential song in the 50s and 60s U.S. civil rights movement. I'd like to give you a little bit of background about this song. It's based on an old American hymn, Gospel Plow, or Keep Your Hands on the Plow. And even with its Christian form and its Christian lyrics, it's about transcending oppression and persevering through struggles. And when we can't always get what we want, we need sometimes that perseverance. There's been many lyrics and versions made of the song, and no one can be really attributed to the writing of it. But the lyrics for the civil rights version are attributed to Alice Wine, who's a woman from Johns Island, South Carolina. She had only a grade 3 education and started to work as a young woman. Her bus driver that took her into work each day lobbied activists to start a literacy school on the island so that the Black folks that lived there could vote, because you had to recite something. I'm not sure what it was, but so they could read and be able to vote. And Alice attended this school and finally did vote and sang her words to the music teacher that was teaching at that school. And that music teacher went on, he was an activist himself, to share that song, and it spread across the US and finally around the world. It's been recorded in this version by Mahalia Jackson, Sweet Honey in the Rock, Bob Dylan, Pete Seeger, Bruce Springsteen, among others. I have a video here where I kind of line out the melody for you and have some harmonies. I hope you'll join me in singing Keep Your Eyes on the Prize, Hold On. Oh, the one thing we did right was the day we started to fight. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Got my hands on the freedom plow, wouldn't take nothing for my journey now. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Hold on, hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Hold on, hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Only chains that we can stand are the chains of hand in hand. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Many good souls have fought and died, so we could sing here side by side. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Hold on, hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Hold on, hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. When united it is clear, we don't have to live in fear. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Building walls and spreading hate will not make our country great. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Hold on.
hold on, hold on, hold on.
Thanks for that, Suzanne. That was great. Could I ask all the young and young at heart to come up and get close to the screen? Because it's time for our Time for All Ages. So our topic today is you can't always get what you want. Well, I have to ask, is that really so bad? I know, everyone likes to get what they want. But I want to ask you, in this world full of flashy distractions and next day deliveries, should we always get what we want? When I think of this, I'm reminded of a story I know called The Queen, the Bear, and the Bumblebee, written by Deanie Petty. The Queen, the Bear, and the Bumblebee are three friends who went sailing one night on a ship that sailed through the stars. Along their journey, they met the Prince of Night, who offered them a crown of glittering lights and would grant each of them one wish. The prince also warned them about Growlithe, an awful fire-breathing monster who wanted the crown for himself, for dark purposes. The queen had a wish in her mind right away. She looked at the bee and knew just what she wanted. She wanted to fly, and so she wished for wings to be able to fly like her friend the bee. Immediately, the queen got her wish. She started flying in circles right away, giggling and singing. The bear came next, and he had a wish too. He was tired of his fur, always there and always the same. The bear wished to become a man, furless and with many changes of clothes, so he could change the way he looked whenever he wanted. And so the bear became a man with a large trunk filled with clothes. Well, while the queen flew and the man started checking out all his new clothes, the bee thought long and hard about what he would use his wish for. The bee decided that he liked himself the way he was and didn't want to change because he didn't want to become something he wasn't. Well, when they heard this, the queen and the man offered the bee plenty of ideas of wishes that he might make to improve himself, like taking away his stinger or getting taller. It was around this time that Growlithe appeared, hunting for the crown. The three scared friends knew that they had to keep Growlithe from getting the crown. The man tried to frighten away Growlithe the same way he would have as a bear. He reared back and let out a loud roar. But it just sounded like a man when he lets out a loud snore. The queen yelled at Growlithe, "Just go away!" She tried to fly right at him, but her wings were so new, she flew the wrong way by a mile or two. In the end, it all came down to the bee. The bee used his small size to avoid being caught by the Growlithe as he looked all around at the creature to try and find a weak spot. At last, the bee found that weak spot right under Growlithe's chin. And just as Growlithe was reaching for the crown, the bee jabbed into that weak spot with his trusty stinger. And like that, Growlithe disappeared. Getting back to his friends, the bee saw that the queen and the man were not doing well. Every time the queen tried to land on the ground, she crashed by accident, and the man's clothes were all covered in dirt. He hadn't thought of all the work it would take to keep them clean and nice. Both the queen and the man wanted to go back to the way they had been before their wish. With a smile, the bee suddenly knew how he wanted to use his wish. He wished for both his friends to be changed back into the way they had been before their wishes. And the queen, the bear, and the bumblebee sailed off again into the night. I really like that story, and I hope you did too. I think one of the lessons we can take from it is that it's important to really think about the things that we want. Because we do live in a world filled with flashy, colorful ads encouraging us to always want something new. And people often will want a thing until they've got it, and then realize they're not happy with it. So I encourage you all to be like the bumblebee and think long and hard about what you want and why you want it. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for that piece of wisdom, Zee. Now we come to a point in our service where we welcome you to light a candle for a joy or a concern that's in your heart. So we light this final candle for all the joys and concerns that remain silent, yet prevalent in our hearts. And now we move to a time of meditation with music from Susanne and some prayers from Wayne. Please find a comfortable position and bring your mind and body into a slower state.
Stay in that space of being quiet or being soft. And maybe prayers that people say kind of coalesce around some ideas that we all have. Could you pray for healing? Don't worry where it goes. Can you pray for your healing in the words that you can find? Can you pray for a loved one and their healing in the words you can find? The world is a tough place. Can you pray for healing of some place on the planet that needs it in the words you can find? Another idea prayers coalesce is around connection. I'll use some words this time, but feel free to use your own. Life, will you open my heart so I can be close to others? O Goddess, let me be vulnerable so that I can notice the nuances we all offer, always, to our enlightenment. O my soul, comfort me, because I'm often afraid. And this last idea that prayers coalesce around is some kind of wholeness. I'll use my words again, but feel free to use your own. Body, help me feel alive with life. Body, let me fall in love with life again and again. God, can you make us whole together? Make us see beyond the differences that divide us. Help us hold each other. Nature and universe, when our time is over, when my time is over, will you take me to the light? Will you bring me to the place of great peace, of great unknowing? Prayers are like wants, maybe a little deeper. And then it's over. Take a breath, and if you can, rejoin us. I think I've mentioned a red bicycle in my past before. It was when I was young, maybe 13, and I saw it in a local store window. It was beautiful, shiny candy apple red, glowing in the display lights. I thought it was the most beautiful bicycle I'd ever seen, and I wanted it. I didn't have any money, nor did I tell anybody I wanted it. I would just stare at it in the window, looking at every detail, riding it speedily across long distances. Made me feel like I was flying in my mind. And while on the red bicycle, I'd notice people on their porches, and they would see me gliding by. Riding easily on a good, strong red and white seat, watching the world go by seemed like it would be the best thing to do. I wanted that bicycle. And later that year, I helped my parents move a significant amount of dirt from a big pile near the house to the flower boxes around ours. It meant digging and hauling probably 20 or 30 cubic meters of topsoil. My parents saw me working hard, and they had seen me staring at that bicycle, I'd guess. I had an old beater bike that was too small for my legs, and they bought it for my birthday. Birthdays weren't a big deal in our family. For 2 weeks, I cared for it as I thought I should. And then it got scratched and dented. The front tire got a flat. I didn't know how to fix it. So it sat there for weeks, and the snow came, and I forgot about it. You know, when we want something badly, it's an expression of our ego. We want that. There is beauty in the world. There is discovery and joy. And there are times when we want things, and we should want them. We don't always get them. But when we do, our wishes seem fulfilled, and for a time we're happy. Even though I got that bicycle, there have been many times in my life I didn't get what I wanted. I bet you can say the same thing. And there are times when you do get what you want, and it wasn't what you wanted at all. I wonder, is there more to wanting? Is there more to desiring the world rather than just a cheap trick? Sometimes our wanting is simply the greedy desire for more. I've done that. Wanting more food, more symbols of status for no reason other than a smoldering greed. Other times when I didn't get what I wanted, I could feel resentment creeping into my awareness. But if spirituality is about awareness, how can you connect desire to a spiritual life? Is wanting or desire in its deepest form telling us something about who we are and where we're going? Could our unconscious, God, or the soul be communicating something about who we are through the things we want? In that example of the red bicycle, could the life force inside me have been showing me something that might be true about me? I wonder now if that red bicycle telegraphed a future desire to see the world, to feel the world, to touch the world. Was the bicycle a symbol of a future? Because travel did happen in my life, traveling to learn, traveling to grow. As I look back, as a child, we had 3 homes. I emigrated to Canada when I was 21 and created 2 more here. With many of you, I've traveled to 14 different countries and all the continents except Antarctica. I've been to 6 different universities, had 2 careers, and I helped us move into 2 spiritual homes, including this one. Was that bicycle a harbinger of traveling and learning and growing? I've seen this in others. When we were having the circles of trust regularly, one of the group members wanted to present to the group. Diana Meredith asked if she could present a problem she was having to the circle and used its wisdom for its own growth. It's hard to believe that Diana has been dead for more than 4 years. Her partner Peter has given me permission to tell you the story. When she asked me if she could present to the Circles of Trust group, she added sheepishly that she was struggling with her desire, her want, to become famous. And because she was ill, she feared she might never reach it. She said, "Becoming famous is an old tape, an old story from my past." To me, though, Diana's wish to be famous was far more than that. I imagine she wanted to explore being famous more carefully, even if she didn't know it at the time. She prepared a question, typed it up, gave it to the group, and read and reflected upon it. But as I watched everyone read her reflection and her question, I noticed how engaged everyone was. I could feel the deep sympathy for her question, her reflection, because in our hearts, in a way, we all want to be famous. In other words, we all want to be recognized for our work, for our sacrifices, for our creativity. In Diana's question, we heard our own wishes and wondered how we might handle our desire for recognition and respect. The Circles of Trust spent about 2 hours reflecting with Diana. We asked her non-leading questions, kind questions, questions we didn't know the answers to. She answered honestly and clearly. We learned that her wish to be famous might have been inspired by her family of origin. She didn't feel so valued, and it was a wound that stayed with her. We learned about her wonderful artwork and how good a teacher she was. We felt pain at her not being recognized. We saw how easily it could be for anyone to be distracted from the skill and creativity their work demanded by their wish to be recognized for it. We all listened to questions from the circle and her answers. There was something deeper there. Diana had far greater aspirations. She wanted to be acknowledged and respected and included. She wanted to be healed. She wanted to be whole. It was like we collectively pulled away a veil and saw deeply in. Like the red bicycle revealing a life filled with moving and travel, Diana wanted to be famous, revealing a desire to be whole. So I bet you can share my surprise that directly after that session, as we were leaving, Diana said to me, "Well, that didn't work." I was so dumbfounded I didn't know what to say. But 2 weeks later, Diana came to me again and she said, "Hey, Wayne, I know what I said a couple weeks ago, but I think it did work." There was a lot for me to process in that session. And since that Circle of Trust group, I'm working on my art in a different way. She also said that she got an invitation from a respected magazine and was preparing an art show. She said, "I think the circle, I judged it too prematurely. I still have that wish to be famous, but that wish is way bigger now." The deep desire to be famous was the want, but it cleverly hid another level of development, another level of growth that lived underneath her want. At the time of her death, she had a show and a major presentation on disease and ableism scheduled, and felt this was the way to reach the world. She found a deeper insight about how to be whole. Wantings leading to deepening. Of course, not all our wants or our desires reflect a deeper aspect of our lives. Nothing is true all the time. But on occasion, a desire, a want, can offer far more than we thought it did. Desires, wants, might be telling us something about the secret of who we are. At times, our deepest self is speaking to us through everyday desires about the mystery of who we are and who we are becoming. The deep is telling us where we have come from and where we are going, summoning us to where, if our soul is to be saved in a certain way, we need to go next. To see this, we have to learn how to stop our headlong rush to the next moment, the next thing, and rest in this one. Remember the word be, breathe, and experience this moment. In some ways, desires mimic prayers. In a prayer, we say, give me, protect me, love me, heal me. Prayers often begin as desires, but as the prayer deepens in silence and surrender, it moves toward our heart and our soul. Like our wants, when we pray, we can be sure that as our prayer on our lips moves, it goes to our heart in ways we might not have predicted. Maybe when we pray, and maybe when we want, it's good to pay the closest of attention. Because this life of ours is a journey we have not traveled before and will not again. We need every clue about who we are, where we are going, and what we might look like when we get there. How can this do anything more than help us love ourselves and each other? I pray, I desire that you and I will be aware of the deeper aspects of even something as simple as I want. Thank you for listening.
We come now to a time when we turn our attention to the financial needs of our congregation. We grow spiritually, but to help us grow further spiritually, we need a bit of help with a bit of money to help our building and our community grow. If you are giving ongoing gifts, thank you very much. Please consider a continuing gift to our congregation if you haven't already, maybe a check or maybe an e-transfer. You'll see in the chat that a link to our donations page. And while you are making an offering, Susanne will offer a musical interlude.
Congregation, will you sing with me hymn number 1015, I Know I Can Go On. Though days be dark with storms and burdens weigh my heart, though troubles weigh on every turn, I know I can go on.
The journey has been long, but as it says, the destination is near. Now, please join us in singing our chalice extinguishing music.
Although our chalice has been darkened, we hold the fire within our own hearts.
Today, I offer this prayerful blessing. I pray that hope awaits you at every turn. For those of you who do not wish to join a breakout room, thank you for joining us. You'll all get invited to a breakout room. Today's question to consider in the breakout room is, when you received something you wanted, what happened? And now, after thinking about it, maybe imagine a deeper aspect of what might have happened. I'll be in the room that you're in right now, and if you'd like to just speak with me or ask questions about neighborhood or our congregation, just feel free. No question is silly. If you're new to neighborhood, stay here, and that'll be great. And you can do that by saying later to the breakout room request for you to join them. Otherwise, hit the request to join the breakout rooms, and you can talk to, I don't know, somewhere between 5 and 6 people, 4, 5, 6 people about their responses. It'll go on for, I think, about 15 minutes today. We end our service by going to gallery view, if you're willing, and unmuting ourselves, and together saying namaste, or words that you might feel good about, which means I salute the spirit within you. So if you're willing now, unmute and let us know.
Namaste.
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 Namaste. Namaste to all of you.
Safe paths.
Namaste.